All right, so walking a house that is in Bellevue, which is where I live, great area in Nashville. Agent brought this deal to me. The house is a 2.9% interest rate, so great interest rate, great area, newer build, like 2018, 2019. Doesn't really need much work, maybe a paint job. And the crazy thing about this is there's agents and investors that will bring deals like this all the time that have these low interest rates where sellers are literally willing to just let you take over their payments, leave the mortgage in their name. I guess the question is like, why would a seller do this? Well, there's a lot of reasons. And if you're asking the question, you probably haven't talked to enough sellers in your life, because there's people that are going through divorce, people that are going through financial struggles, people that need to sell quickly because they got a new job, or maybe they got orders or in the military to go somewhere else. Whatever their reason is, you can be the person that actually helps them through that by solving their problem. Because this mortgage is roughly $260,000. Nice little walk-in shower. House is probably worth $360,000, $370,000. For a cash offer, it's probably going to be a little bit tight, probably not going to work. But for a creative offer where you can take over their payments for really little to no money out of your pocket, it could make a lot of sense. The payment on this is like $1,500 a month. The rent on it for a 3-bedroom over here is probably like $2,100. So it would do fairly well as a rental, especially considering you have a low rate, you're paying down a ton every month. But there was a hiccup in this deal, and I'm walking this just to kind of double check and make sure there's nothing I'm missing. But the agent told me, oh, hey, by the way, they have a HELOC. I'm like, great. So they got a line of credit. They used that as a down payment on their next house. And to me, I'm thinking, maybe they're going to put down 20, 30 grand. The good thing about HELOCs is like you can take them over subject to, just like you can a first mortgage. There are some complications that can come with that, but that's a video for another day. But it can be done. So my thought was, okay, let's just take that over. Worst case, we got to pay it off, right? That's fine. That's our entry to get into the deal. But I find out that the HELOC balance is $80,000. So people are doing stuff that is not smart, taking out $80,000 lines of credit on their homes to go buy another house. The other issue, and this is something I'd always recommend when you're walking property, is if it's in an HOA, you need to confirm what the HOA bylaws say and if you can actually rent the property out. Looking into it further, you can't even rent this property out. You have to get some kind of lease permit. Apparently people are waiting years to just get a lease permit. And so it's one of those things that if you don't do your due diligence up front, you could put down 30, 40, 50 grand to get into a deal. You have a great interest rate, but if you can't rent it out, it's like, what are you going to do with it? Just thought I'd kind of break down this deal. I think it's interesting, especially considering all the stuff that's come up so far. Love to comment down below if you think there's a play that I'm missing here on what you could do with this deal. I thought about maybe trying to owner finance it out. Potentially somebody, with a big down payment with 50, 60 grand, they could come in where I'm not having to put a ton of money into the deal, but it would still cash flow really nicely. It'd be a good way to also get around the rental issue, right? Because at that point you're a bank, you're not a landlord. Just thought it'd be an interesting deal to talk about. Definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching the video.